So how bad can the city really get? You know what I mean? Just as I went to start this video, I went to press record on my phone, and a siren started up. An ambulance or a fire truck. It wasn't a fire truck, but it could have been one of those truck ambulances. But it was, par for the course living here. I live a block from the fire station, so there's always something going on, some sirens, some noise, and since I moved, it's been much more peaceful. But the peace and solitude is only one aspect of it. I feel safer being away from the cities, I just feel like all of the cities in this country are going to be, steadily on the decline. Now look, we've managed to clean up our cities, but I mean, a lot of people who talk about crime today, and how bad it is in the city. The fact is, statistically, in the 90s, Portland was much worse. The early 90s, late 80s, there were skinheads and punks everywhere and fights all the time and all kinds of problems. But yeah, shootings are bad. Times change, the problem we have is multifaceted, but I'm not here to get into that, but more of the aspect of, it's kind of humorous because we don't know what we really want as a species, or even as a culture or a society. Like, at least dominating cultures or groups or cults or religions, at least they know what they want, right? At least they know what their end goal is, whether it's crazy or not. But, for society as a whole, or just a general country, we don't all have the same destination or desire to have the same destination. So it's difficult to navigate because we have, a quote democracy, but it's extremely complicated. And then there's the argument against people being smart enough to know what they're voting for. And people have had these debates, as far back as time, I'm sure, from back in the earliest governments when somebody was saying, why should you be boss? It's always been like that, right? Why should this guy be boss? But humans have just eaten it up because, I don't know. The point isn't about leaders or history so much as the fact that every time a leader needs to clean up his country or fix a problem, and they do it by force, it ends up causing more problems, which compound and snowball into something worse and worse, until eventually the overall power of those people is diminished. All of the citizens, the ones that matter, the citizens. Because honestly, I could care less what happens in Washington, D.C. Like, I don't care what party people are involved in up there. Like, if I had to pick one state or district in this country and say to disappear, it would probably be D.C. Because I don't believe that we necessarily need a governing body in the modern day the way that, well, let me rephrase that. There would be exceptions, I realize. The military, I'm not a big fan of, but we need some military because there are threats in the world, and especially now. I mean, it's basically like this. We've been trapped into it, right? We only think we need most of the politicians, but really we just need a few good generals and leaders to protect us and pay attention, do the right thing, not fuck with other people unless they're fucking with us, that kind of thing. And that at times a country will go through hard times or dry spells or not having enough oil, whatever it may be. But we've found that we just can't let that happen. I mean, we take what we want. That's what we do. or at least the military in my country takes what the government wants. And I was thinking about the cost of it, but all that aside, the whole point was about being prepared for the fact that there are a lot of factions running governments around the world into the ground. And with that comes the likelihood of something, either a gradual decay or something significant happening that everyone has to deal with. But for now, I would just say we have to embrace what we have and be grateful to be alive. Even if the shit does decline, we're living in the peak of times right now, right? I mean, that's good. We should celebrate that. So it's not a thing to worry about, not a thing to sweat, just a thing to be aware of and maybe stock up on some burritos. So anyway, ramble for the day over. Gotta get back to work. Just needed a break, but damn, it's hot out here. Talk to you soon.